Okay, this is your help for vectors and scalars. Right, this first question here is about, do you understand that difference between displacement and distance? So just to clarify, distance is how far you have actually travelled. So the distance from A to B is 300. The distance from A to C, if you were to go via B, is going to be that far, and it's going to be 300 plus 400, so that's going to be 700. However, the displacement is actually the shortest distance between the 2 points. So the displacement would be the length of that distance there. And in the question, they do actually tell us that that distance is 500. Okay, so in the question, we have Al and Ben, and they're starting at point A and they're travelling all the way around this rectangle, and they return to their starting position at A. Okay, that's all contained in the text at the top. So let's get on with answering the first question then. When they are at point B, okay, so they've started at A, they've gone to B. When they're at point B, they have travelled a distance of how many metres? Let's have a look. Well, the distance from there to there is 300. Okay, their displacement from point A, so that's the shortest distance between the 2 points, is how many metres? Well, that's going to be the same in this case. So that's going to be 300. Okay, question B. When they were at point C, they have travelled a distance of how many metres? So let's have a look. If we go from A to C via B, that's going to be these two distances added together. It's going to be a distance of 700 metres. But what is their displacement from point A? Okay, so their displacement at this point, and the bearing is 53 degrees north of east, so that's 53 degrees. Don't worry about where they got that from, do that later. What is that displacement? Well, they've told us that actually the displacement is 500 metres. That's contained within the question. They're not expecting you to do any calculations here. Let's move up to question C. When they are at point D, they have travelled a total distance of how many metres? So now for point D, we are expecting to go all the way up there, there and down again. So it's going to be 300 plus 400 plus 300, which is going to be 1,000 metres. Okay. Their displacement from point A, so at that point, how far are they? What's the shortest distance between them and point A? That's going to be 400 metres. You can see it's just the width of that rectangle at the bottom. When they are back at point A, so this is now when they've come back to point A, they're back at point A, they have travelled a total distance of how many metres? Well, that's going to be all the way around the entire rectangle, which I've drawn in blue, 300 plus 400 plus 300 plus 400, so that's going to be 1,400, let's write that in, 1,400 metres, but their displacement from A, so the displacement from where they started really, it's the displacement is going to be 0. It's like they haven't actually moved anywhere, even though they have travelled a distance of 1,400 metres.